she is.
There we go. There we go. Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
You
How's Mullenville?
obviously,
Yeah.
obviously enjoying outside today.
Yes, I am. You can probably hear the birds. They're pretty loud.
It's all
That's
right.
all right. We had the windows open last night, so we woke up to the birds chirping today, and it was so cool. Finally.
It was gorgeous yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start the clock here, guys. Welcome to 20 for 2020. We have Senior Kellie Rhodes with us for this episode. As with all of them, it'll be out here, uploaded on Facebook and YouTube here at some point. But Kellie, we're just sitting down with some of the seniors and trying to spend about 20 minutes just to kind of reflect a little bit on your career, your high school life up to this point, and then talk a little bit about what's going on next. So I think probably the first thing that I would ask is, what has life been like over the last year, being an only child at home for the first time in your life?
Right.
Oh, how can I put this? It's been nice because my sister and I have always shared a room, so I like having my own room, but it was also boring. I was busy, but weekends and stuff were boring, so I'm glad to have them back. It's been nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you guys share a room, do you guys have rules of like if I've got something important going on or some boy I need to talk to, like I get the room, you got to stay out, or is it just come and go as you please?
She typically has always spent more time downstairs, and I've spent more time in the room, so it's like kind of whatever. Clothes was probably the biggest issue. That was not. But then towards the end of high school, we started wearing different sizes, so that was fine. But now she doesn't keep her clothes in the room. She keeps them downstairs since she moved out and came back.
So was there ever any like I know with the twins, right? Everything is a competition. It doesn't matter what it is. And then when it comes to sports, everything is still a competition, right? So we would get home from a game and one of them would like, they could never be happy for each other. Like if I told one of them good job, then the other one would like smart off and make a comment and then make sure to tell us we're better. Is that the same thing between you and your sister especially?
It kind of depends on the situation. Like basketball was most of the time was like happy for each other most of the time. Never sometimes it was like, oh, you really should have thrown me the pass there, like little things like that. But like track, when we were in some of the same events, that was a little iffy. We didn't really talk about that too much. That was between all of us. Like all of us got pretty competitive with track, so.
But I feel like was it easier to not be as competitive with your brother though, because you didn't have to directly compete against him, or was it still like, you sucked on that meat?
I don't know. It's hard because like we all, especially in track, we like all watch each other, so then we like peek each other, and just not good most of the time.
Do you think it was a huge benefit? Do you think it was a huge benefit for all three of you to kind of be right around that same age? I mean, with 1 year difference between you, do you think that was better than if, and I'll use us as the example, right? So we had the twins and Audrey was like, yeah, we're done for a while. And so Creston is 4 years younger than them. So the twins, when they graduate high school, he'll just be coming in as a freshman that next year. So do you feel like it's been better that you guys are all together versus there being a bigger time difference?
Overall, I would say yeah, because we're basically like the same age, so we do everything together. And like any activity you wanted to do, like we could have our own baseball games in the yard because there was three of us, and we're like the same age. But there have been some different things, like especially when we were going through high school, our personalities started changing a lot, and so it was like, everybody was always like on each other about everything. But overall, I would say yes, it's been much better to have all three of us be the same age.
Good. Good.
Very cool.
So let's talk a little bit about your high school stuff, right? So you're I would assume that you're a little bit of a bookworm and that you'll jump right into your homework and get your stuff done, this and that. How has this changed? Because I imagine you're not getting as much schoolwork with the change as you did before. How has this change affected you in that capacity? And then what's one good thing that's come out of this change and one bad thing that's come out of it?
As far as schoolwork goes, you're right. I pretty much get up and get it done.
Yeah.
There are some things, like, I'll usually do about 2 hours in the morning, and if it takes me more than 2 hours, then I'll save that for the afternoon. I've got a few more things to do this afternoon, but I just try really hard not to spend so much time on my schoolwork, like, for a really extended amount of time. Like, I'll take breaks. But for the most part, yeah, it hasn't been near the amount of work, so that's been nice. Probably the best thing that has come out of this is either the amount of time I get to spend with my family now because everyone's home, or how much closer I've gotten to the Lord during this time, because that has been crazy. Like,
Yeah.
how much He has showed me that I need to slow down is one thing. But the worst thing, not being able to see my grandma. Reagan came home 2 weeks ago, so we've been quarantined. So after these 2 weeks, we can go see her. So that's been the worst thing.
Yeah, that would be tough, like not seeing. I know that's one of the things in ours as well, but not seeing the grandparents. So I'm glad you mentioned like getting closer to the Lord, because that's like now's the time to do it. And mine's a jaded part of that, but I feel like I've had to get a little bit closer, and he's actually told me, like, Chad, calm down a little bit, because some of these people that you see post stupid stuff in social media, like, just let it go, and don't acknowledge it, don't reply to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's been crazy on that. So what's your favorite, what's your three-sport athlete, what's your favorite sport that you played in high school?
I know.
Track would be number one. Everyone knows that. But as I got older, I would say volleyball was really close, because I got throughout high school, I got so much more competitive through it, you know. So volleyball would be up there. It's pretty close, and it's hard now because, like, I know I'm moving on to track, and I'm going to continue to do that, and it's really hard that I will not be playing volleyball anymore, which is terrible.
So what's your greatest memory? And I know that you've been asked this before, but what's your greatest memory then throughout high school track?
Definitely being champions last year. That was pretty fun. But I would say overall, just the whole experience of state track every year. It brings something different every year. Like, one year, bus broke down right as we're pulling in, or like this last year, rained nonstop, or one year so hot that we literally could not even breathe. Like, you know, it just brings something different every year. And I think the best part is, like, facing that challenge head on and being like, this is my last time to compete this year, and everyone's in the same circumstance. So, like, just go, you know. So.
Well, and I think the thing people love about our state track meet in Kansas is that all the classes are there together. So while you're competing against your own class, you're getting to see athletes and see competition from other classes. And so it's actually touted as, you know, the largest high school track meet in the country, because we have so many athletes from all classes. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that just adds to the environment for you guys a little bit, to see everybody there in one place?
Absolutely. The atmosphere is insane. Like, especially finals day, like both stands are full. Like, you're just, you know, in the middle of everything. And the infield for warm up is always full. Like, you'll be bumping into people that are from Kansas City, and you're like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, like, so glad to be here. Like, it's just crazy. I've met so many people just, like, on the infield or walking back to the camp, or just, like, crazy things like that. But the atmosphere is so different from anywhere else. Like, our track meets, nothing compared to state track, you know. So
So when you think about, like, the state track meet, we had talked to Sabrina earlier, and I was telling her how I was watching the state track meet that day from my house, and I think because it was raining so much, like, I would have liked to have been there, but I think I ended up staying home. But anyway, so you get to the last race, right? to win the state track meet, all you have to do is place.
Yep.
You know, and not only do you place, you just absolutely destroyed everyone. Like, I don't know how many yards you were in front of everyone, but it wasn't a very close race. And so do you think that atmosphere, even you guys were obviously super talented, all four super fast, but do you think that even kicked it in another gear to, you know, let's, not only are we going to win the state track meet, we're going to put on a show while we do it.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you think the atmosphere helped with that?
Yeah, and one of the other biggest things was we always run that last, right? So we've gone through 2-3 events a piece, you know, and we were fresh that morning. You know, we hadn't done anything. We just warmed up. We were in the mindset. We were focused. Yeah, all of it just was the perfect scenario. Like, it just, everything added to it. And we all just knew that that was going to be the time that we were going to do something great, you know.
And you obliterated them, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. State record, right?
I don't know if it was a state record or not, actually, but it was a school record for sure.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. I thought it was a state record too. But
And they do, by the way, Brad, they run track based off of meters, not yards. So
see,
not sure.
I'm a basketball coach.
Well, we talked about
Retired.
We talked about the feeling of so Brad was a state champion in high school baseball. I was on a high school state champion wrestling team. And so we talked about, with Sabrina a little bit, we talked about that feeling of winning state as a team. So what was that like at the point where you knew you guys were going to win state? What was the feeling that you had at that time?
I would say peace would be the biggest thing. Right before we got on the track, Mr. Powell came down and said, Sabrina just won. It was either shot or disc. I think
disc.
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 Yeah. And he came down and he said that she had just won that, and he's like, all the pressure should be off. If you fall, get up in the top 8. That's all we need.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, like, this is our time, you know? And so I would say that's the calmest I have felt at any point during state track, because it just, I don't know, it just felt like everything was just right for us to do something great. So
yeah, awesome.
And you did.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch. What's your we talked about kind of your I think we asked what your biggest memory was academically or just throughout high school, not related to sports. What's your biggest memory or funnest memory or any of that that's related to just the overall high school process that doesn't involve one of those athletic events?
Academically, probably all the crazy labs we do in Mrs. Greenleaf's. That was really fun. It introduced me to a lot more in the science world that I would not have investigated otherwise. But then also adding the ag program was really fun. I think that was some of my favorite things with labs and things we did in the ag class. Yeah, I would say the sciences for sure.
Good. So let's move.
Just real quick, where does the being king and queen, being queen of homecoming, where does that rank up there? You know, and does your king partner make it worse or better?
Oh, definitely better. Loves it. It probably ranks up there. That was really fun. I think the whole process of that week was really fun. And getting to answer the questions that all you guys got to hear, that was really fun. So probably top 3 for sure.
Seth really enjoyed that whole process too.
Yeah. It was more than just what you guys get to see. Like at school, that whole week is really, really fun. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, people, I can't remember if we talked about this on one of the other ones, but, you know, when you're in high school, as you're growing up, you get to a point where you're like, man, I just can't wait to graduate high school and move on and move on and move on. And then there's a point for some of us, that everybody's not this way, but if you had a good high school experience, where sometimes you start going back and going, man, those high school days, because of things like Spirit Week, because of, you know, athletic events that you participate. I mean, I can still smell, they can't today, but we didn't have turf when I was in school. And so I can still smell the grass from a Friday night, football game, and that, I could be walking by a grass field and get that smell and think, oh man, I miss high school football.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
you'll miss it. You'll miss it one day. So what's the plans moving forward, right? So you're finishing up this year. We get done with this. You already mentioned that you're going to be running track in college. So where are you going in college, and what events are you looking to run in track?
I'm going to be going to Concordia University in Nebraska. It's right outside of Lincoln, so not too far. And I'm going to be running, hopefully, the 400, maybe the 200, going to be still sprinting. Hopefully he doesn't throw me on something crazy like hurdles, but you never know. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sprinting. We'll see where next year takes me, I guess.
And what are you going to be majoring in?
My major is agriculture science. So they only have one ag major there, and it's just a uniform, like everything. You do animal science, plant science, ag business, all of it. And I can get an emphasis in ag business if I take more classes in that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't really know yet.
So what are the chances you go away for 4 years, get that ag business degree, and then move right back into Kiowa County?
Probably pretty high.
Pretty.
I'd say. Yeah. Either that, or I plan on getting an internship somewhere working for a ranch that has alpacas, or somewhere that uses them for therapy, which is something I would really like to do.
Wow,
So.
that's awesome.
Is that like when they spit in your face? Is that the therapeutic part?
Yeah.
No.
They're very friendly animals.
Yeah. Llamas spit like a lot, and alpacas really don't. So
Okay.
they're used in therapy a lot, which is something I really like to explore a little bit more and see if I like doing that or not. So.
I think we've had this conversation. Did you know there's an alpaca farm up near Stafford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's between Stafford and Hutch. Yeah. I think we've had that conversation before.
That I would really like to visit here in
Yes.
Kansas, see what it's like. But I'm actually going at the beginning of June, and we're going to check one out up there, see how they adapt to the cold a little bit more than they would here.
That's very cool.
Maybe what we're hearing is the beginning stages of the first alpaca farm.
Yes.
In Kiowa County.
Yep.
As therapy.
Yeah. Well, Brad, you want to jump in?
My psychology years.
We've got the last segment here, Kelly. Yep. Brad's got some questions to run down with you that are kind of fun, and so Brad, take it.
All right. So this is most likely to. So I'm going to say, so think of all your seniors right now, all the seniors in your class. And I'm going to ask you questions and say most likely to blank, 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 and give me an answer. Okay. So here's the first one. Who among the senior class is most likely to become a multimillionaire?
A multimillionaire. Man. If we're thinking like corporation wise, I could see like maybe like Seth. Seth could do it. Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking Dad's hoping. Dad's hoping Seth will do it.
I'm going to give this to him and say, look, someone believes in you. Maybe we don't, but someone does. Your queen believes in you.
Yeah. So one person. Your queen believes you can build a kingdom.
Right. So, and have alpacas. All right. So here's the next one. Most likely to be the first one that, let me see. Oh, most likely to become a high school teacher.
Jaylene. I know Jaylene really wants to be a preschool teacher, maybe.
Okay.
So I could see her definitely pursuing that. Hopefully she goes for it.
And then this one actually came from Seth. He was like, hey, you should really ask this question. So I'm going to give it a chance. Hopefully I don't butcher this because it might have a couple little side questions go with it. But who is most likely to have a movie made about their life?
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
So like you're really asking who's going to be the next Tiger King. I mean, that's what you're asking.
Sure. I still haven't seen that.
Man, I feel like Cooper could have like a pretty good like farming movie, you know? He could make something good. It might be more of a TV show. He
That's
could
fine, like a reality show. Sure.
Yeah, he could.
So here's the
Listen,
next question.
How big of a reality show could it be when Cooper's going to stand there the whole time and be like, "That's stupid."
Yes.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So who would play Cooper?
Who would play Cooper? Man, I don't know. I would just say, Cooper, you just do it yourself.
Cooper do it himself.
Yeah.
So then here's the next question to go on with that. Let's say that part of that show is and I guess if it's a reality show, you would play yourself. But let's say it's still a movie. Who would play you?
Who would play me?
Yes, in the movie.
I don't know. I feel like if we were like older, you know, I could like Jennifer Aniston could pull me off, you know.
There you go. I don't think Jennifer Aniston can do you justice, to be honest with you. So I don't know.
I'd love to see that Cooper reality show. I love that kid. That would be awesome.
That would be funny.
I feel like there'd be a lot of bleeps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Funny.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us for 20 for 2020 with Senior Kellie Rhodes. Kellie, thanks for joining us today.
Awesome.
We really enjoyed it, and we'll bring you some more 20 for 2020 stories, hopefully over the next few weeks, and try and get through all of our seniors in Kiowa County. But enjoy the time today with Kellie, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks.
See ya.